Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 and another part of this series where we are at Tottenham. And last time we left off we'd had a little bit of a slip up after a long 14 game winning run in all competitions. We did lose away to Manchester United in the league and then drew with Norwich in the league, which was not necessarily the best result to get. But then we did managed to bounce back. Esposito and Fati heavily involved as we beat Newcastle. You'll notice they got 3 goals between them, enough to win the game. Without them on the pitch, it probably does finish 2-2 and we end up in a difficult position. But Sir with the ball in, Fati with the header, and it landed for Greenwood. He made it 1-0. Butman then played the ball out to the right side for Sir, pulled back to Ambere, and Esposito gets his first goal for Spurs at the near post. A very nice finish. Fati then nearly tackled by the Newcastle defender, but he cuts across, and then a beautiful finish from Fati, who scored a few goals now, showing the impact that he's had on that left flank already since joining us. But a long ball from the keeper just splits the defence in half, and Newcastle do get a goal back. Esposito did miss a penalty just before half time, but Kenner got the header to give us another goal. Clavo then went down the other end to make it 4-2, with Bueno getting the finish. And then just before the full-time whistle, Fati, another beautiful little run, gets round everybody and then finishes the goal, showing that individual quality that he's got, and it's the reason that we signed him. But we then took on Liverpool in the EFL Cup first semi-final leg, and unfortunately it didn't quite go to plan. Esposito did his best to put us back into the game, but I told the team that they'd done well at the end of the first half. And they immediately go out and concede 2 goals at the start of the second. Sir with a long throw here comes out to Ambere, who finds Esposito, and on the turn and volley he finds the back of Alisson's net, and then Alexander-Arnold swings the ball back, and Gomez, who's been our undoing so often, scores again against us. And then Mo Salah with a corner a couple of minutes later. It goes in, Declan Rice tees up Dybala, he hits the post, but Jones, the centre-back, with the finish makes it 3-1. Giving us a little bit of a mountain to climb, but at least in the league things have gone back to winning ways, starting with a 3-1 victory over Brighton. Fati scoring again in this one, this time from the spot, but we are struggling a little bit with fitness at this stage in the season. It's still brutal the number of games we're playing, but Bellingham got the first here, somehow beating the keeper at his near post to make it 1-0. Kenner then playing the ball out the back, gives it up really by putting Bellingham in a little spot of trouble against Adama Traore, and Ortega gets the equaliser. Duane Cotalon's corner though, headed in by Ruben Dias for 2-1, and Fati from the penalty spot made it 3-1 for a good victory in the end. We then went a little bit better against Bristol by keeping the clean sheet and also scoring 3 goals, but the goals did come late on. First half we were banging on the door of the Bristol goal, but not quite able to score until Bellingham does a beautiful bit of work, runs through the middle and scores a fantastic solo goal to give us that lead. And then late on, last 10 minutes of the game, Greenwood turns on the pace, beats the defender, slots it past the keeper and makes it 2-0. He then gets another one with a beautiful free kick from range on an angle into the top corner. That's what you love to see from a free kick taker. We then had to take on Newcastle yet again, this time in the league, and Fati and Esposito getting the goals. A pair of them immediately taken to the Premier League like a duck to water and starting to score goals for fun. Daniel here finding Fati, and an excellent curled finish into the bottom corner makes it 1-0. We do then get the second when Sir puts the ball in. It's cleared out to Ambere, but he dinks it to the back stick, and Fati with the header gets his second. And then late on, 72nd minute, Esposito on the half volley finds that bottom corner for 3-0. We do give up the clean sheet with about 5 minutes to go, but that's not the end of the world. Matty Longstaff off the post and Wheeler with the finish for 3-1. And then we took on Preston in the FA Cup, which I would really like to win this season after losing in the final last season. We crushed Preston. We rotated a few players in just to freshen everybody up. Esposito scores from the penalty spot to make it 1-0. Lazala down the line to Esposito, pulls it back to David Neres, and he plays it across for Xerxes to get the first of 2 for him today. Duane Cotalon's free kick headed in by Koulibaly at the back stick for 3-0. Lazala then with a long throw which comes all the way to Esposito on the half volley. for 4, and we get the 5th just before half-time. They do get a man sent off for a second yellow not long after this, but Xerxes gets his second goal of the game with that header. And late in the game, 86th minute, Greenwood on the edge of the area pulls it back to Duane Cotelon, and what a finish from him to make it 6-0. Good to see him starting to score goals for the club. But today we are taking on Liverpool in the EFL Cup semi-final second leg. We need to win 2-0 to go through or better. And we're also taking on Arsenal. In the league at the moment, we are top of the table still, but it is incredibly close at the top. 4 points separating the top 6 and 6 points separating the top 7. Brighton are only 11 points off the top. It's been such a weird little season so far. 14 games to go. I think about 85 points will win the title this year. So I think 14 games to go, we can get 35 points. That's what? 11 wins out of those 14 games. I mean, it's quite a push. It's going to be a really low finishing points total this season, but I think we can do it. Over 85, probably about 82, 83, but over 85 will guarantee it. But against Liverpool today, we are playing with Kane and Esposito up top and both fully fit, which I'm very happy to see. The whole team fully fit after rotating a bit against Preston. Fati and Ambere on the wings, Bellingham and Butman in the middle because Daniel needs a little bit of a rest. And then it's Bernard, Lorenzo, Koulibaly and Lazala in defence. Kenner also injured, Diaz suspended, Sazao suspended, and Jana still out with an injury, but that's not the end of the world now that we've got Esposito in. I think Fati has really been the big signing. Obviously Esposito always scores goals, but that Fati signing is a massive one because we were so under kind of gunning down that left inside forward position, and it's a key position in this formation. And here's Maddison early on looking to just ruin our day. He finds Dybala, little triangles from the Liverpool team, and Robertson across. Bernard gets it away. We've got a chance. Fati to Kane, in behind for Esposito. I think he's onside, and Esposito has scored inside the first minute. He is a big game player, Esposito, and he's made it 1-0 here against Liverpool. A very good goal. Kane playing it over, and Esposito timed his run beautifully, and for once he's the kind of striker that in that one-to-one situation is going to beat Alisson in goal and not fluff his lines. So really important that we signed Esposito for just that kind of situation. He takes a free kick now. I'm not sure if that was a shot or a really poor cross, but either way it didn't work. Alisson then launches it down the pitch. Lazala launches it back up the pitch to Esposito. It's down to Kane, out to Butman. He plays it over the top, and Fati is there. He's got players in the middle. Fati pulls it back to Bernard. It's dinked into Esposito. Ambere cleans it up, puts it back across, and Fati off the crossbar. And it is finally cleared away by Liverpool, but they are really under pressure here. And it's not surprising given we need to win this game by a couple of goals. Ball goes in, and Alisson happy to take the catch. Still not yet caught him out with one of those long throws as the ball's sent down the pitch. Now Dybala trying to run through on goal. Held up in the box, it goes in. Lazala clears it away, but only to Alexander-Arnold. Now Gravenberch back to Rice. Lazala with a header. Now Butman can counter. It's Ambere charging at the defence. Esposito is through, and Esposito in on goal has done it again. His second goal of the game. He's already got 7 this season for us, and he's still in the first month of his signing. It's sensational, the goal scoring return from Esposito already, but he does just score goals. That tackle helping him out a bit there because it just sort of ricocheted back off him, and nothing that Alisson could do to stop Esposito there as he made it 2-0, and that's assist for Kane and Ambere as Ambere puts corner in, and Koulibaly with the header makes it 3-0 inside 16 minutes. We have completely turned Liverpool around, and now even if they score, all they can do is force us to extra time. But we have got a bit of a record of choking, of throwing games away, and we need to make sure that we don't do that against Liverpool here. And Bernard trying to keep that pressure up. He's released Esposito past Alisson, and he makes it 4-0. He's got a hat-trick inside 19 minutes of this semi-final second leg, and surely that is game over for Liverpool now. I don't understand how they're going to come back from this. Absolutely basic kid stuff there, and Esposito with a great goal to get his hat-trick and make it 4-0. What a game from Esposito, showing that he really was a massive signing for us for £125 million. He is the player that will win us trophies. He will make that difference almost on his own. Fatty is a big part of that. I've never been so confident about a couple of transfers in my life. When I was thinking of bringing in Fatty and Esposito, they were exactly what this team needed to fix its deficiencies. I did think that Xerxes would be that player, but that big injury to him just seems to have left him a star down on where he was when we signed him, and it's just unfortunate he's not been able to recover. As Amberi plays it forward to Esposito again, he's charging in behind Amberi, he's got support to his left, he's going to do it on his own, he's through on goal, and he makes it 5-0. We are tearing this Liverpool team absolutely apart. 5-0 up now. Overturning that 3-1 defeat at Anfield. This is exactly the kind of result that the Ajax team, the Barcelona team, used to put in regularly when needed, and finally this Tottenham team is doing it for us, making it 5-0 inside 26 minutes against Liverpool. Alisson, who's been our nemesis for so long in that Liverpool goal, having an absolute shocker today. And now they've got a man off the pitch as well, as Koulibaly plays it down to Fatty on the left. Big touch forward, he keeps going, he plays it through to Esposito, who's round the defender and past Alisson yet again for goal number 6, his 4th of the game with only half an hour gone, and this is quickly becoming an embarrassing cricket score for Liverpool. They're being absolutely torn apart, their defence is a shambles, and they've got one of the best strikers in world football absolutely exploiting that shambles and making it now 4-0. Their keeper's having a shocker. They've got a player out there injured. Bellingham with the ball now, still going. He's going to have a shot himself, and it's saved finally by Alisson, tipping it round the post. But how high is this score going to go? And Bere with the corner. We've gone back to cautious, by the way. After going 4-0 up, we switched to a cautious mentality and still scored 2 more goals in about 10 minutes. But this Liverpool team are absolutely all over the place right now. As that ball goes forward, Luzala has won it. He's got options to the left. He finds Fatty. There's players inside. Esposito is there, but he can't get goal number 5 because Alisson has managed to pick up the ball. Trying to save a little bit of face now, Alisson, by putting in a good show for the last hour. But his team really struggling out here. Lorenzo sends it to Koulibaly. Played forward by the goalkeeper. Now switched out to the left flank, where Bernard nearly loses it to an injured Elliott, but instead he cuts it across to the middle. Butman driving the ball forward through the heart of the Liverpool midfield, and Bere now tees up Luzala. He's got 3 to aim at, 4 now in the box, and that's a tackle right on the edge. I think that's more likely to be a free kick than a penalty. What does the ref say? Free kick. There we go. It looked like it would be a free kick. But we're nearly at half time now. We're 6-0 up against Liverpool in this first half. That is a job very well done by the boys, and I think we need to concede 4 goals without reply in this second half to get knocked out. Alisson now down at a 4.7 average rating, which is absolutely abysmal. Nobody on the Liverpool side above 6.8, and that's the substitutes that have just come on and get that by default. So we really have just torn this Liverpool side apart. We can make a few changes, bring on a few youngsters and rest some of our bigger name players as well, which is helpful. Keep them fresh for the games to come. But overall, there's not a lot else really to say about this game. It'd be nice if we could get another goal or 2 in the second half, maybe some of the rotation players getting on the score sheet, but all that matters is we're going to an EFL Cup final at Wembley, and we will not be playing Liverpool, which is massive. Although on this evidence, it doesn't matter if we did. Duane Cotelon's ball in, comes out to Xerxes, edge of the area, he finds Butman, and he's put it over the top. No second half goal here as it stands. Butman sends the ball back, now Fatty through. Kane is in on goal, but it's just gone out for a goal kick, and that will be the end of the game here, I'm sure. But overall, just such a good game. So happy with this performance. The team have done absolutely wonderfully to come back. I was worried after that 3-1 defeat that we weren't going to do it, and now a foul off the ball. Is that a card for Alexander-Arnold? I think it will be a yellow card handed out to the young, well, not young anymore, he's sort of in his mid-20s now, the right back, but Duane Cotelon's free kick put in, cleared out by Torreira. Probably the last act of the game here as it runs out, and there you go, 6-0. We have humiliated Liverpool, overturning a first leg defeat, which bodes well for the Champions League as well. And next up, I think probably Chelsea would play in the final. If we just have a quick look at how the other semi-final goes. I'll find out in a minute, because we've just been offered a new contract by Daniel Levy, which is nice to see. We are planning to stay here for a few years and build up a world-class team. Hopefully pick up a couple of Champions League titles, so a bit more money is always good in the back pocket. But I'll see you in just a second for that Arsenal game, and we'll see who we're playing in the EFL Cup final. It was Chelsea that made it through the other semi-final, beating Brighton, so it's going to be a final against Chelsea in the next episode. We've also got the PSG. I think we'll probably show the first leg, because if it goes really badly we can show the second leg with the Manchester City game, and that allows us to do the EFL Cup final in the next episode quite cleanly. So we'll play a few games off camera, these three off camera, although one's a friendly anyway, and then we'll pick up against PSG in the Champions League knockout stages. But today we have the North London derby. It's Spurs against Arsenal. We have Esposito joined by Butman for this game up top, with Kane moved out to the left flank and Beret on the right, then Bellingham and Daniel in the middle, with Gonçalves, Diaz, Koulibaly and Sazao in defence, Onana in goal. Fati has got a little knock, he's going to be out for a few days. Lazala's injured now for a little while, and Bernard also injured. He's out for a week. Lazala just for 4 weeks, and then we'll get those players back into the team. But I am expecting us to really probably tear a new one in Arsenal following that Liverpool game. It was such a good performance, and this Arsenal team is not massively strong. They're quite good in the centre of the park, but the rest of the team, Saliba's decent. Pereira we know from his time at Real Madrid, Reguilón as well, also from Real Madrid. But I think we just need to go out there and pick up where we left off last time, if that's an option. I can't actually see that option. So instead we're going to give the fans a performance to cheer for, and the players enjoy that idea, they're behind it, and now we can go out there in front of the Spurs faithful and hopefully get a big win over the rivals. Sazao with the ball into Esposito. Butman is in there, he's scored. I think the flag's gone up though, or VAR is certainly getting involved, and VAR has ruled out Butman for being offside there. I didn't look offside to me, but you could tell the way that the goal animations worked that it was indeed offside. And we have 20 minutes on the clock, but we're totally in control of this game. The Arsenal team seem to be struggling. They've got Kepa in goal, which won't help their favours as they play it out to Saliba, and Guimaraes has lost it, and Esposito, showing that determination, has stolen the ball and scored to get his 10th goal of the season, and he is very close to becoming our top goal scorer very soon after joining the club. He's still in his first month for the club. 10 goals in your first month in a new country for a new team shows why Sebastiano Esposito was an absolute must sign. So really good work from Esposito there. As the ball is cleared away, Saka over the top to Lozano. He's now trying to push forward. Koulibaly with the tackle. It's sent forward. Butman is tackled. Reguilón goes after the ball. It's sent back to Kepa. Now Saliba. Cortesi forward. Lozano not quite got tackled there. Correa out wide to Bakary Saka. Sazao doesn't get the tackle in, and Gronto has scored at the near post, but the referee has called it back for an offside. So we're still managing to hold on to that 1-0 lead for now. The Arsenal team do seem to be struggling a little bit mentally, but we need to make the most of that. Sazao with the throw in, Esposito's in there. It doesn't quite come to him. Correa clears it, and he's found his man, but Koulibaly with a wonderful tackle. Now Mbere out to Sazao. Forced to come inside. Daniel, though, plays it back out. Sazao's got his wing position now as he turns the defender inside out and very nearly scores a very good goal. But it is a corner instead as the ball is played in. It comes out to Jude Bellingham. Now Mbere across to Butman, and it is over the top from Butman. He's not a natural striker, but he is quite useful in that position when needed, because he can fulfil that false nine role in quite a good way. And now Onana plays it out to Koulibaly. It's over to Ruben Diaz as it comes out to Gonçalves. He then holds up the ball. Saka with the tackle, trying to charge at the defence. Saka, and he puts it across, but Onana makes the stop in the centre. And we are through to half-time. I don't think we're really under any major problem, but I'm going to just tell the team that I'm not happy because I don't want to go out there and take it easy in a game against our rivals in the second half. We need to go out there and try and get a good performance and a few more goals really early in this second half, but they're not coming yet. The team just not quite firing. I think Harry Kane playing on the left flank, it's not his best position. We can bring David Neres on for a little run out on that side. We could also potentially look to take Ambere off, maybe some of the midfielders. But as it stands, we will be going 3 points clear at the top of the table, but other teams with a game in hand as Neres steals that ball. Esposito tries to play it over the top, but it's cut out by the defence. Back to Kepa, who gives it straight to Gonçalves. Now Ruben Dias back to Onana. Forward to Ruben Dias again. Koulibaly tries to hit it forward, but it's not quite been found. Ball played on to Correa, out wide to Nachi Unuvar, but Sazao with a beautiful interception, and Butman through on goal. Can't quite beat Kepa. That's where you really need an out-and-out striker up there, and I think that's what we'll do next, is bring on Xerxes into that position in the advanced forward role and see if you can get that finish when the opportunity comes, as Correa puts a corner in and it's over the top there. Gronto nearly scoring for the second time in this game. While he was onside, he wasn't able to get the finish. Correa's now got an injury, so they're down to 10 men, I think, which is not going to help Arsenal's cause for the last 5 minutes of this game. Can we get the win? Gonçalves with the throw. Kepa happy to come and claim that one. He needs to just send this one out. Gronto tackled, and Neres has it now. Bellingham just need to keep control of the ball for the last few minutes. It's played over the top for David Neres, so he's in on goal. It's saved, and there's a penalty in there. Saliba with the foul, and we will get the chance from the spot to make this 2-0. I think it'd be Esposito to take this one as he steps up and he scores, sending Kepa the wrong way. 2 goals on his North London derby debut, making it 11 for the month of January for Esposito. He's definitely going to win Player of the Month this season. Surely, even without the 4 goals in the EFL Cup, he's still scored an absolute bucket load. So Esposito hitting the ground running in the Premier League, and a major addition to the squad as we get a big win and make it 5 unbeaten in the league. Esposito, though, what a signing. 125 million, 3-3 in the league to be fair, but 11-7 in all competitions. Says it all for Esposito. And next we'll play through these 2 Premier League games, and then we'll get to the PSG and Chelsea matches, Champions League and EFL Cup final. So do drop a like down below if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, see ya.